Okay, so this should be video 1 of our paper mache project. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be constructing the base of our paper mache sculpture. Now, whenever you are creating kind of like a skeleton of a sculpture, whether you're using wire, aluminum foil, you are creating something called an armature. And again, this acts as the skeleton of our base, so it's going to be covered up. We're never going to see this wire again, but it's going to add a lot of structural support. But anyway, right in front of me, I have a long piece of wire, just like you should. For me, it like measures my arms going all the way out, plus a little bit more. So it's pretty long, so your figures aren't going to be super tiny. But anyway, okay, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to construct our figure, and we're going to start with the head. Now, what I like to do is I like to make sure that my wire's even on both sides, and I'm going to fold it in half. So all the way at the end, they should be pretty even. And then we're going to create our head shape here. And I'm going to say I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to end up bulking this up a bit, so he's not going to have a flat head. But anyway, so this is the head here, and then once I've found a good shape or size for my head, I'm going to give it a little twist there. So right now I have a little head, and then I pretty much just started a neck as well. So I have my head, neck, and then my two ends. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start on one side. I'm going to start on my right side. And I'm going to start on the base of my arms. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to fold it in half. So this will act as our arm. Just like this. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And I want my arms to be even. You don't want them to be wonky. So right now I have two arms. I want to make sure they're nice and even. Okay, and once I'm happy with that, I'm going to start twisting these a little bit. That way they stay together. Now this part gets a little tricky because you need some good hand strength. Now I have students that cut off this part of their hands, and that's perfectly fine. They'll just like clip it in half right here and then continue twisting. I'm going to keep mine as is because I'm not really worried about you guys doing a whole like open hand with fingers, but this could be a start of a hand that's kind of like this, kind of like the little wooden mannequin hands. But anyway, so I have that twisted, and then the great thing about this is we don't have to make this super perfect, because when we start adding things on here, let's say this arm is a little bit longer, I can just like elongate this arm just a little bit with the materials we're going to use next. So don't think it's the end of the world if your wire is not perfect. Remember, this is an armature, it's your skeleton, and it's going to be covered up. I don't even know if I can get this last part here. My hands aren't as strong. Okay, I'm going to say I'm happy with that for right now. And again, if this is kind of too large, I'd probably take some wire cutters and cut that down. Okay, so I have my arms. Next is the torso. And this is probably the part where a lot of my students struggle because they either make it way too short or entirely too long. So remember, when your arms come down, we're going to end up building shoulders, by the way, later. So our little figure doesn't have really any shoulders yet. But your hands hit around like kind of the bottom of your hips. So this should be pretty much where the waist would be, and then like the crotch region, and then the legs will come down. So kind of use your arms as pretty much a guide as to how long your torso should be. So for my torso, I just twisted it. I'm happy with that. Something like this so far. And then I am going to, for my legs, I have all of this wire left. Now some of you might have a little bit less, and that's okay. You just might not bend yours perfectly in half. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottom part and I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to go up as far as I think my leg should be. So let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. And this bottom part could be the foot. So again, I'm going to bend my other side and try to get it the same length. And that's pretty good. Maybe this piece should go up a little bit more. Yeah. And then the same thing as we did with the arms, I'm just going to twist. And then my excess up here, I can either cut off or I can just twist it back into my torso. I'm just going to twist it back in so I can use all my wire. And I actually have one leg a little bit longer than the other, but again, I can elongate it a little bit. Or I can elongate it a little bit if you couldn't hear me. But anyway, here's my little constructed figure so far. I can lay it this way so you can see it a little bit better. And again, probably for these, I'll use some wire cutters and I'll clip them and then I'll twist them. And you'll see that in the next video. But anyway, that is how you construct your wire figure. You guys have fun.